living in an RV has been great for us as a family, but not everything is easy or goes the way you expect it to go.
So let's take a look at the good, the bad, and the ugly of RV living. When it comes to traveling in an RV, the top of the list obviously is travel. We love getting to travel and see new places, and we get to incorporate our friends and family, bringing them with us into new parts of the country and experiencing that with them.
So for us, one of the best parts of living in an RV has been how affordable it has been for us. You know, it can be as cheap or as expensive as you want it to be. You'll hear people saying, oh, you know, don't do it, it's crazy expensive. You know, you're gonna spend $1,000, $1,500 a month finding sites and fixing things, and you know, and there's some truth to that. You can spend $1,500, $2,000 a month finding places to live and you know, on fuel and where you're going, but if you want to live cheap, I mean, we could, if we park in a spot and we like it for a month, I mean, we can stay there for a month for $10 a night and not spend fuel. I mean, you're talking 300 bucks a month, no taxes, no mortgage, no utilities. I mean, that utilities included on $300 a month. There's places $300, $400, $500 a month. If you like the area and you want to stay for a while, you can do it cheap. But if you want to run around and, you know, you hit the high touristy spots where it's 50, 60, 70 bucks a night and you're driving like crazy, I mean, man, you'll run through that money fast.
So one of the good of living in an RV is how much less I have to clean. Oh, that has been such an amazing perk of living in a small space. I can clean this whole 300 square feet in, you know, 45 minutes, as opposed to before, and that's a full cleaning, as opposed to cleaning our 1,800 square feet. It was an all-day job.
RV living full-time gives you flexibility. You don't like the neighbors, you don't like the site, just move to a different site. If it's too cold, head south. If it's too hot, head north. You can follow events if you want to, you know, go to the balloon festival or run a marathon, or you know, whatever you got. It could be anywhere in the country, and you just take your RV and you go to that area. So that flexibility is a really great option to have when it comes to living in an RV full time.
So this could be a bad, and it is for me, is RV showering. It's not the roomiest shower. There's not a lot of pressure. The hot water goes out pretty fast. There's nowhere to shave your legs. It's just not an ideal situation at times. And that's not to say that's for all RVs. Some have endless water tanks, great showers, but you usually have to pay for those options. And at times you have to save on water holding in your tank, so we have to venture to campground showering. So sometimes that's really great, and other times it is not so great. So I'm going to give you a quick peek into camping shower life. Sometimes we get some really great showers, and sometimes it's yeah, it's just a shower. So ooh, free shampoo. Not too bad on this one. I can tell you that the pressure and the warmth was not great in those, but we're clean and we're happy, and that's all that matters, right?
Staying in shape has actually been harder for us than I thought it would be on the road. I thought that would be maybe more of a good thing or a perk, but it's actually been something that's been difficult for us, because when you're traveling to new places, you want to eat the food, and that food is usually not healthy. On top of that, it is a little bit more difficult to work out on the road. It's not that you can't do it, it's just, you know, it's tougher to have a routine as far as your workout schedule, because, you know, you're in a different place, different weather, different circumstances, and you don't have, you know, we had a full workout room in our house, and Marissa has a gym membership, you know, in our hometown. We don't get that on the road for the most part. But as far as what we do have and what we need to work with, you know, we got dumbbells that we use, we have jump ropes, we have stretch bands, we use what's around us as far as body weight exercises. So it's not an excuse. We can work out. It honestly is just a little bit more difficult when you're moving around and you're on the road and you're in new places.
So one of the bad of living in an RV is, and we get this question a lot, how do you get alone time? Don't you get sick of being with the same people all the time? And I can say that you really do have to love the people that you're traveling with, because you are together all the time. But there are ways to get alone time. So this week we've been staying at the beach, and Hensley still has a nap time. I said, I'm going to the beach and having some me time. And you can't get any more alone than this. There has been nobody in sight. I have had this beach all to myself, except for those two. Thanks, Nathan.
Okay, so we've talked about some good, we've looked at some bad, and then here are just some flat out, I guess, ugly things when it comes to the RV. The first is maintenance. You are traveling around with a home on wheels. Things are hitting bumps, they're moving around, they're creaking, they're working themselves loose all the time. There's gonna be some maintenance with this thing. When it comes to RV tires for our Class A, these things are huge. You can't just take it to any tire shop. I had to take it to a tire shop that specializes in, you know, mounting and balancing large tires. So just the two front tires that I had replaced that had dry rot on them, $1,300. And it's not just the tires. When things break on an RV, you have to go to somewhere that specializes in RV repair, and they charge you for that. The first problem is it's insanely expensive at $125 an hour, and the second problem is it's your home. So it's not like when you drop your car off and you're still good to go and you borrow a car, somebody drops you off. I mean, your home is in the shop. Sometimes it's small stuff. You know, here's a little chip in the windshield, and I know this won't be the last time I do this. When you get a chip in the windshield, you got to fix it, because if you don't fix it, I mean, you got a massive cost for the windshield, replacing the whole thing. I spent, you know, 30 minutes yesterday using a hairdryer on the freezer because it built up so much frost the ice maker didn't work anymore. There are pops that are still leaking. I'm trying to figure out where they're leaking at into one of the bays under the RV. We've got on the stove, it has 3 burners. 2 of the 3 burners are already out. Every couple of weeks you got something going on. So be aware that unless you've got just a ton of money and a backup home, you're gonna have to be able to fix some of these small things. And you're sometimes, like with the tires, so there's gonna be some money involved sometimes with keeping things up with the maintenance.
So as you can see, your neighbors are super close a lot of the times in RV parks. So that can lead to some noise and less privacy at times, whether they have a barking dog, not naming any names. We have stayed at campgrounds that were very close to train tracks, and they kept us up all night. So sometimes you just don't know the environment that you're going to be put into, and sometimes it's awesome and sometimes it's not so awesome.
So this is definitely one of the ugly parts of living in an RV, is you are literally living on top of your sink water, your shower water, and everything that comes out of your toilet. So you're constantly, especially when you're on the road, you're constantly hooking and unhooking the sewage drain and having to mess with that. So you're putting gloves on, taking gloves off, hooking it up, washing it out. It's just a nasty deal. It's not as bad if you're living somewhere for a month. You can, for the most part, keep it hooked up. When you're moving around, you're doing it a lot.
For us, the good has far outweighed the bad and even the ugly.
But this is what it's all about. Spending time together as a family, seeing new places. And does it go perfectly? No. I mean, our kid is, especially with a toddler, we've been trying as hard as we could to keep her clean for this, and it did not happen. She's ready to play in the sand and the ocean. And you also start making compromises on what your kid wears. She still has her pajamas on. We threw some rain boots on her. She'll probably never be able to wear these pajamas again, but she's having a blast.
RV living isn't perfect, but that's what makes it fun.